Good morning and welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. I was busy yesterday. You see, we modified this 32 style dash to fill the gaps over here that you see the piece behind the copper piece. There was a big gap there, and now that gap is gone. The copper piece is original Ford dash rail, Model A dash rail. That's how close they made that. That's about equal on both sides. But there was a big void behind it, so I added some pieces on the green piece, the 32 style dash. Added some pieces to take up that gap, and also put glued some threaded pieces for the fasteners behind the dash rail, so you don't have to try and reach up there and hold the fasteners as you're installing all this stuff. The dash rail and the dash itself, in other words, the green piece and the copper piece, both mount together. Those screws go through both pieces. So now I have, what would you call that? Permanently mounted fasteners behind those locations. And we're going to I used, again, nylon screws for mounting the glued pieces, so that the screws wouldn't stick to the glue, because when you glue it, the glue gets all over the threads. If I used metal screws, I wouldn't be able to get the screws out now. So I went and bought some nylon 1/4 screws. So we're going to take those out now one at a time and see. Probably have to run a tap through the threads. See if I can put the permanent screws in and how that works. Hello there, welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Today is about the end of the day, but today is the 20th of June. I'm still plugging along, making some more progress. These things go, actually I found these, they were lost for a while, and they were lost because they were right in my face, right in front of me. These go up at the top of the door. You see this little recess here? That's a rubber bumper goes in there, so that it it closes against those pieces mount up here under the wood. And when you close the door, the little rubber hits that piece of wood, so you adjust that so that it keeps the door from rattling when you close the door. So you don't have to slam the door to make it latch, and yet it'll be tight enough so it doesn't rattle while you're driving it. You adjust the rubber. The rubber comes long. You fit it. The garnish on there. Been working on those, cleaning them up and making sure they fit like they're supposed to. You see what that side looks like. It's got the garnish up around the door window. The window part too, the horseshoe shaped piece. But they were all kind of crooked and bent here and there. You see they've been sanded. We stripped them. They were chromed because they're going to get painted now. So same with the dash rail. It was chromed. It's getting painted now. We're going to paint that and the dash panel itself a color that is kind of coordinated with the leather. A matte paint, not shiny, that will blend with the leather. So that's and you notice the windshield's back. I put all this stuff back together because I had it all off. The windshield hinge was off, the windshield was off. I was working on all that stuff. Hello there. Welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Still working on old Hank here. Let's see kind of what's going on here. I'm still dealing with upholstery work. Met with the upholstery guy yesterday, Isaac, yesterday, and we talked all about the seat cushion and the seat foam and a lot of stuff. The door panels, the clips for the door panels. I finally found some clips that are intended to work with 1/8" board, backboard, from Hagen Hot Rod Supply, I believe it's called. I think they're in Ohio. And they work really well. I replaced them up here in the windshield header panel, and I put one on the door panel. They cinch up real nice, the 1/8" panel. So you notice some of these have the washers on them and some of them don't. The ones that, like this one here is one of the new ones. Whoops, where are we? Here, this one here is one of the new ones. All of these are the new ones. And like I say, when you plug them in there, they cinch up real tight. So that's exactly what I want. I haven't changed them all yet. And after talking to the upholstery guy, I wasn't sure. I know I made the mock-up seat cushion. That's the seat cushion shape that I'm looking for, or it was looking for at least, based on sitting on that one, the old one, and thinking that was going to give me, reproducing that height was going to give me the height I wanted looking out of the vehicle, sitting in and driving the vehicle. And what I've discovered yesterday when I had some help looking at this, I put that old seat back in there and sat on it, and what I discovered, and I hadn't realized before, that when I put that seat in there and sit on it, it collapses the foam completely down to the wood that's under it, down to the base. So I'm sitting on the wood, not the foam. I mean, there is no foam dimension that is being included. So when I measure that old cushion and duplicate it, it's telling me nothing, because when I sit there, I'm not sitting on the foam, I'm sitting on the plywood. Hello there. Welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. It's Monday, July 1. I'm going to take some profiles off of this mock-up, because you'll see the front here leans away from the base. It leans forward. The side is similar to that. It leans out. So I'm going to make profiles of those two edges, the side edge and the front edge, so that when I give this to an upholstery person or do it myself, I can use those patterns that I'm going to make, those profile patterns I'm going to make to shape the foam. So like I said, the first thing before I tear all this is like a day's worth of work making this mock-up cushion here. There's all kinds I'll show you. I'll take some pictures of the inside of it. There's little ribs in there like you're building a boat skin or something like that to hold that cardboard nice and steady and firm, and give it enough shape so somebody can use it as a pattern. Now here's what the inside of that mock-up cushion looks like. See, I don't know where the light's best here. There, I guess. Just in order to get all the angles to be secure, so somebody could reference off of them. There goes the gate. You can hear it squeaking and groaning. So yeah, like I said, to make all the angles nice and straight, and so someone can use them as a pattern. That's what was inside that mock-up seat. You couldn't tell from the outside, obviously. Anyway. Hello there. Welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Today is July 22nd. Oh, well, wasted some time on that. That's Ford's disaster of a engineering design. 2014 Ford Escape with a 1.6 liter EcoBoost that blows a head gasket at 70,000 miles. Finally got the right clips for the door panels, and those are all installed. The little mounting clips. I couldn't find the ones that would clamp the 1/8 inch thick backboard. Got the, you see the shiny part on top of the riser? Determined the height I want the seat base with 5 inch high density foam. Had to create a 1 inch riser on top of the sheet metal riser that's attached to the cab. So now that's an inch taller than it used to be. I've got the plywood is actually located. There's a couple of pins that go into some holes in that tubing. So this now is ready for the upholstery guy. The seat, back, and cushion, the door panels, kick panels are all ready for the upholstery guy. You saw I made a panel for that too. That's in the back of the truck because I removed the top. I had to take that panel off temporarily. What I'm working on now is this. When Ford built this, you can see there's some nail holes right there that are almost gone at this point. And those typically would nail to the top wood. Unfortunately, the way they made this, when you cover the top with fabric and you put the last piece that goes around and covers all the nails, that last piece would go above the sheet metal and expose the nails that were fastening the sheet metal to the wood. We are in the process of modifying that so that this metal is going to be welded, attached to the frame of the cab, not to the wood. See the big holes? There's carriage bolts go through there. The sheet metal on the side will be welded, and the heightum, the piece that covers the nails, will go right along the top of it. Welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Today's July 23rd, Tuesday. I've been working on this. I got this side ready to go. You see, I added a little wood under there where there was a big gap, and got this in the right place. So you see there's a gap that's even across the top of the door. The wood is down to do that right across the top of the door. Like I said, I had to modify the wood underneath this piece so where it lands on the structure, it places it at the right height. I also cut this down. In other words, I put a straight edge from here, where's my finger? From here, to the back corner, and that's the line that metal is. That's going to go, it's just a straight line with the bottom of the door. Okay. Now this piece of wood, I don't know if it's straight, I don't know if the door's straight, but the gap is even, the gap is parallel. At any rate, so now let me get the heightum and I'll show you. Okay, I think I can show you better from this side, so I can put the tripod here. So I can use two hands. Okay, so the idea here is, see, this had tiny little nail holes right about where this is cut now. This is lower than it was by maybe 1/4 of an inch. So that the heightum comes across right above the door opening. If you got the metal there, the heightum can't make this really sharp jog around the metal. Because what's supposed to happen, the factory put a gutter here. So the gutter would stop back here, so, well, maybe over here, right at the edge of the door, and the height would start right there. That wasn't an issue. The nails were exposed on the factory when the trucks came out of the factory. What I'm trying to do is hide the nails one way or another. So what I'm doing here is I'm not going to eliminate the nails because I'm going to weld this. I put a piece inside. I'll get up there. I'll take this off and I'll get up there and show you that piece that I'm adding on here that we're going to weld to the structure and then weld this to the piece. But at any rate, what this will allow is the item will go in a straight line across the top of the door and across right above the metal. And I'm going to add some material to this wood so that the material comes out either flush with the metal or just proud of the metal, all the way across the front, the top of the door here. So I'm not using the gutters. The gutters are ugly. And I'm not trying to restore this to original. I'm trying to make a street rod out of it. I want it to look nicer than how Ford finished it. So I don't care if it's original or not, if it's correct or not. I want it to look a little nicer than that. Not fancy, but nice with some detail. So I'm gonna add to this face of this wood maybe 1/8 of an inch so that it comes out maybe just proud of the metal. This is like a double layer of sheet metal. It's like the metal was hemmed, only we're doing it with 2 pieces instead of folding one over. Okay, so here's what we're working with on top of this area here behind the door. You see there's where the 2 bolts, the 1/4 inch bolts go through that hold the wood. And the little holes are for clecos to fasten that little piece. So I'll show you that once. What I'm doing here now, this is what I'm working with. I got to clean all the paint and stuff off of this for welding purposes. So Scott can weld the additional piece I'm adding. I'll show you when I get that clean. Well, there's what it looks like all clean for welding. Actually, I got to do the back of that too, the inside of that too. But I'll do that. I won't even bother showing you. I'll do that so it looks like the other piece. Okay, well, there's what it looks like with the clecos and the clamps. That's just set up for welding. It's held there with the clecos until you put the clamps on it. I'm going to remove the clecos and I'll show you what that looks like because that's how it's going to get welded. Oops.
Let's see if I can.
All right. Okay, well, here's where we got today. You see, this side's all welded. The top, the 2 pieces are welded together along the top. Now I have to flatten that out. I got to file it or grind it or do something with it. Let me show you what it looks like from the inside, the working side. There's the other one all set up and ready to go. You see I got a piece of sheet metal in here to protect the wood from the heat. Here's this side, all welded in. I got to do a little finessing on the bottom of the wood. I think what happened here, I think when I clamped this, it tipped this over a bit, probably kind of raised this area. So I got to do a little relieving on the bottom of the wood, I think, because it's up a tiny bit, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And I got to get it down where it belongs before I do this joint on this line on the top. So anyway, I'm happy with that. Later.